Hi there and welcome back to Mr. T's Maths. In this video I'll be showing you how to use the sine rule. What is the sine rule? Well, the sine rule basically states that the ratios between a side and the sine of the opposite angles are equal, as it states here in this formula. So here we have an example where we want to find side of length A. So we want to find the side, okay? First step is to have a look and identify the angle opposite that side. We see that we are given angle A, so that's perfect. Okay, so we are going to write part of the formula. Yeah, remember that the sine rule states that the ratios between a side and the sine of the opposite angle are equal. So we are going to write first A over sine of A equals, now we don't need to use the three ratios, okay? We only need another ratio where we know both the side and the angle, and that's angle B. As we can see, we know angle B is 50 degrees and we also know side B, which is 7.4. So that is equal to B over sine of B, and that's all we need for now. Okay, next step is to substitute the known values. We don't know side A, that's actually what we need to work out. Okay, we do know angle A, so we have sine of 48 degrees equals to side B is 7.4, and we are also given angle B sine of 50 degrees. Okay, now we have to rearrange. This is an equation. Okay, we have to make A the subject, so we need to get rid of everything on the left hand side that's not A. So we need to move this sine 48 to the other side. Here we are dividing by sine 48, so when we move it there it's going to be times sine 48. So A equals 7.4 over sine of 50 degrees times sine 48 degrees. So side A equals to, we input all of this in the calculator, and we should find that the answer is 7.2 centimeters to 1 decimal place. Now remember, always go back to your question, make sure you give the appropriate accuracy. Yeah, you're answering the appropriate accuracy. Okay, so that's it. Moving on to the second example, in the triangle ABC we want to find angle B correct to three significant figures. So this is the missing angle. Now my advice to you is that when you have to work out a missing angle, it's actually much easier if you start off by writing the sine rule upside down with the sine, with the angles as your numerators. Okay, so sine of A over A, so it's the ratio of the sine of the angle and the side equals to sine B over B, which is equal to sine C over C. So it's exactly the same thing, yeah, but you will see that the calculation is much simpler if you have sine of the angle at the top. So now we have to identify the side opposite angle B, which is 6.8, that's your side B, and then we have to see which side and opposite angle to that side we know. In this case is C. We know angle C is 70, and we are also given side C. Perfect, that's what we need. When we are using the sine rule, we always need to know a side and an angle opposite that side. Okay, so in this case we are using these two ratios. So we are given B. Let's rewrite everything but substituting the values we know. Sine of angle B over 6.8 equals sine of 70 degrees over 8.7. Now again, we want to make this sine be the subject, so we are going to move the 6.8 to the other side. Sine b equals sine 70 degrees over 8.7 times 6.8. But we don't want to know what sine of b is, we want to know what the angle is, we want to know what b is equal to. So we have to remember that when working out the angle, we have to use that inverse function of sine. So on your calculators, most of them it's shift sine. So that is sine, it appears like that, to the -1 of the whole thing here. I'm just gonna write everything. I always perform the calculation at the end because you get a much accurate answer. Okay, so b equals, once you put all of this in your calculator, you should find that the answer is 47.3 degrees, obviously, to 3 significant figures. Okay, now remember that in some calculators the shift sine function here appears as arc sine. Okay, that's the same exact thing. All right, and this is the end of our video. I hope you are now much more confident with using the sine rule. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you can get notified when there are new videos released, and give a thumbs up if you found this video useful. Thank you.